Welcome back to Two Homers and a Realist. The Sooners get throttled by Ole Miss. Some might dispute that terminology, but I'm not going to because I thought this game was pathetic and we did not do what we're supposed to do. Going to be talking about decision making a lot on this pod. I'm Steve.
Lucas.
Jay.
So, guys, extremely frustrating. I think we're all extremely frustrated, extremely disappointed. You get our hopes up last week with some things that we saw that was against a really good South Carolina defense, and then they regressed terribly. Decision making was extremely poor. You know, I harp on decision making all the time, and decision making at the coaching level and the player level was so bad today. We're going to get into so many examples of that. But one thing that stands out to me is decision making that's made at the start of the week, and that is to go full speed, as I understand it in practice, full speed, good on good, and Simmons gets a concussion. It's just one of many things that happen that lead to performances like this that we saw today. This little tiny bad decisions that add up and accumulate. But what do you guys' takes on what we saw today? Oh, let's talk first about our great sponsor, Tobacco Exchange. I'm smoking a 50th anniversary. It's a great cigar, very affordably priced. One of the maybe the best bargain in the house.
That's a Tobacco Exchange house cigar.
The Tobacco Exchange 50th anniversary. It's 3 great locations. I picked this one up in the Moore location, but I'm sure you can get that in Oklahoma City as well as Edmond. Tell us about any specials they got going on.
We were supposed to be smoking a Hoy de Monterey Rojo.
Why are we not?
Because I didn't get a chance to go by there yesterday,
Mm.
and they didn't open before I headed down. I had one job,
That
not
sounds lazy.
but they are running a buy
It's
two
back
get
to that
one
bad
free
decision making.
Agreed.
at the Moore location
Buy
on Hoy de Monterey.
Buy
Last
one- buy one,
week
get one
we
free.
had buy two get one free.
by 2.
Last week we had a Shade Connecticut, and it was solid.
Yeah.
It's a little on the light side for us,
So light.
but it's had a good smooth draw.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to going and getting the one we were supposed to have.
Mhm.
I'll probably have it on the midweek pod.
Well, I look forward to having that one on the midweek pod. I look forward always to the Tobacco Exchange because it's becoming the only highlight of my Saturday.
Yeah, that is true.
Tell us about the game, guys.
Go ahead, Jay. You didn't fall asleep during this one.
I didn't, and I'm awake right now.
Maybe you should.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever it takes.
Mostly just disappointed in execution. There are a lot of plays that Mateer just doesn't see his receivers. And I'm not sure if it's his third and fourth reads or he's panicking in the pocket. He has some happy feet.
Those post routes and the seam routes can't be third or fourth reads, right?
wouldn't
Because
think
they
they
wouldn't be there.
Usually go deep to shallow
Right.
on reads.
He doesn't
So,
read. He locks onto one guy. He's been doing it most of the season.
I know it's very frustrating. Just a lot of missed opportunities. As you alluded to last week, it seemed like we got our run game going, and then we come out in the first half and decide we're just not going to run the football.
Or when we do run it, we run it in ways that are just strange. We'll get to the safety in a bit, but Mateer, when he runs, he had several draws. His decision making, his get up and go, he second guesses himself. He gets happy feet.
But what's odd is how he ran against Michigan and Auburn
Yeah,
is gone. And I don't know if that's his hand. I don't know if that's the coach is afraid. I don't know if he's afraid.
and they can't be defending it differently.
Right.
Not at that level.
No.
Well, and the weird thing is you're trying to run the ball on the right side when you've got a true freshman starting at right tackle that hasn't played that position at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe he practices all week after Simmons went down, but
It's not the same.
that's not his normal position. He normally plays right guard when he's come in on the second team. And Howland was back today. I don't remember seeing him out there. I didn't watch close enough.
And I don't know what
to
happened to Ozida because Eddie Pierre-Louis was at left guard
Yeah,
for
Right.
a lot of the second half.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't make sense, especially on the end zone safety. I mean, running a stretch play to the right where you're unsettled at that position made absolutely zero sense.
and
Even-
why
even
were
if
we
you're
at the
settled.
two?
And why
Yeah,
have
tell,
to?
tell us about why we're at the 2.
So we have a holding on a punt return, and then coming out of the holding call, which takes a little extra time, right? Gives your offense a little bit more time to set up,
Mhm.
even though it's a penalty.
Mhm.
It's not good, and we have an illegal procedure. We're lined up wrong.
Pushes us back to the 2-yard line. Do we throw a pass or do we run into the line? And that was all we got.
Well, they threw the flag, and then the next play was
No.
the run.
I thought there was a play between that and the
I don't
safety.
think so.
Well, either way, it's a poorly designed or chosen play for the level of defense that you're playing. You're giving it to a true freshman. you could criticize that he needs to do more just to get out of the end zone, but you put him in such a difficult position.
But I mean, most
It's so dumb.
of the time you run north-south, you're at your
Right.
Right,
period.
but we talked about on the midweek pod, the level of defense was not very good against from Ole Miss.
Well, that's why I don't understand why you don't come out of the gate
They were in the 90s in the
continuing with
the
the run
ranking.
game.
right.
Even if you don't like the runs we were doing, you keep feeding it.
Which then did start working with a new running back.
And we stopped it again.
We're running the ball well, and then we go away from it.
Mhm.
We didn't go to it down the stretch when you definitely could. We seem to not have a real strong handle on what we wanted to do in the last 4 minutes. It was like we were feeling our way, sort of like you would at the end of a half. Whereas I think you need to look at that as we need to have some urgency, try to score quickly with chance to get the ball back if we don't, and we don't force our own hand, but we end up forcing our own hand to a degree. Arguably, we could have kicked the field goal right at the end of the possession where we end up turning the ball over on downs because we end up having to stop them and get the ball back, which we do with a minute something to go. But all of it was just so many bad choices in play calling, and then so many bad choices by Mateer, who is looking deeper downfield than he needs to be. We come out. Let's talk about the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds as that play gets us down to a 2nd and 2, and Mateer's helmet comes off yet again because he doesn't buckle his chin strap, and both this one and the last one frustrate me because that was with contact, and I guess it's only if they forcibly remove the helmet do you get excused from the rule that you have to
Yeah, like
come
a
out.
hands to the face.
Hands to the face
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, our face mask.
So he has to come out, and that puts with how much time?
2:20 was on the clock.
2:20's on the clock. Neubauer comes out at quarterback.
Yep.
He came out at about 2:11.
So that was.
But they just
And then they
let the clock
decided,
run down
well,
to
then they
2.
decided to just let it run.
I thought
And
they had more time than that.
and I
thought
think
could have
they
gotten
did
a
it.
playoff.
I think the coaches did it
Because
because
they
they
didn't know the rule.
assumed, they assumed that the 2-minute warning
Right.
would be enough of a play
Will be
or
considered a timeout.
a timeout of some sort that
Right.
Mateer could get back on the field.
I knew. I
So
was
essentially-
pretty certain it wasn't.
So essentially,
That's
we
why I
wasted
asked
those
you
20
guys.
seconds.
Yeah.
Plus the next play
Yeah.
Right. Right. So critical time that's running
to
away.
do a draw.
To do a draw. So you're missing a chance to run a play before the 2-minute warning. You're missing a chance with a guy who can throw the football to run just a give it away play. And you potentially don't understand the rules of the game that you are paid millions of dollars to coach to know whether or not he's going to get to come back in. You should just know that should be
Second
Just
nature.
second
they should
nature.
know.
You
Yeah.
should just know
If
that
you were going to run a
and know
draw
what you're
play,
going to do.
and that's it.
Just
You
run
had
it.
time to run it and just run it,
Just
and then
run the draw play, and then let the
Mateer
2-minute
would be out
warning.
there for the 2-minute warning.
I want to call a timeout at the 2:20 mark when his helmet came off because that guarantees Mateer gets to come back in. But then also, I think it was it 2nd down,
Yes,
2nd and
2.
2. So at that point, you come in and you can throw it on 2nd down, and if it's incomplete, the clock stops. You get to run more plays before the 2-minute
Right,
warning.
which is almost essential in that
Or if you
scenario.
run, or if you throw it and it's complete, the clock stops on a 1st down, and you
You still could
you
clock
could
it,
either spike it or you could just try to get a play
run a
off.
play
And you're probably getting 2 to 3 plays in if you call the timeout at 2:20.
on that side.
It does hurt you after you turn the ball over that you have to stop the clock to get the ball back. So it hurts you there. But if you pick up that 1st down, you're inside the 40, right?
Yep.
At that point.
Yep.
And you're looking to go score the game. Well, you got a touchdown, 2-point conversion to be tied the game, but you're giving yourself at least 2, if not 3 plays before the 2-minute warning by calling the one timeout.
Right.
And in hindsight, since we didn't use all of our timeouts to conserve the clock like you're talking about, you might have been able to kick a field goal
Putting yourself down by 5, and then
And having to-
attempt an onside kick.
and have your timeout.
And if you don't get it, you have the timeouts to stop the clock, which we did end up using to stop the clock.
which we
get
did,
a
right, we got
turnover.
the ball back.
We did, and we got the ball back. So,
But then if
There's-
you do stop them after the unsuccessful
Even if
onside
it's not,
kick,
I say kick
they're
it deep.
putting it down to
I don't even say onside. I say you
yeah,
kick it deep.
either one.
yeah.
I say you
either
kick it deep and
either one.
stop them like.
All of those are theories.
But you
and-
would have had
ideas.
the ball at
We
the end of
need-
the game to win it.
Right.
Not
Yeah,
just
minute,
to
not just
possibly
tie.
tie it.
With only like
Possibly tie.
20 seconds left at that point, and if they pinned you deep,
No,
because-
because we got it back with.
because if they ran it, you
over a
stopped
minute.
it. You ran it, you
Yeah.
stopped it. Then on the 3rd one, you wouldn't have had the timeout to do it.
No, if we kick on that fourth down on 4th and 5, then it's basically the same amount of time off the clock as the stupid pass that's too deep when he's got receivers wide open for the first down. They're going to get the ball either way. You kick it deep to them, you stop them, timeout, timeout, timeout. Then they get the ball back. Both of those are legitimate plan strategies. What we did do wasn't completely legitimate because it's like we don't really know what's going on. We come out and dick around and miss an opportunity before the 2 minute warning on either to get one or, like you say, three potential plays in. And then when it's 2nd and 2, 3rd and 2, 4th and 2, we mess around acting as if we have to get 12 or 15 yards when you just have to get 2. And in the 3rd down or the 4th down, he could have just run for it. He's moving, if I'm remembering the play right, he's moving to his left, just off of the line. He ends up trying to throw a pass that is not complete, obviously, where he could just dive forward and get the first down. The clock stops and you get to figure out what you're going to do.
And then also, if you're not going to use a timeout at the 2:20 mark, and then you realize, oh, Mateer doesn't get to come back in at the 2 minute warning, you send Neubauer out there. Well, you tell him throw the ball.
Yeah.
You run a play action.
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
tell him under no circumstances can you put this in danger.
Right.
But if it's incomplete, it stops the clock.
Right.
And then Mateer comes back in.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you run a draw,
which
everyone doesn't pick up the first down.
Everyone knew it was draw.
Yeah.
Everyone.
So I'm not saying
As a matter of
you're
fact,
not running a trick play by just putting your backup in there
I tell you,
to throw an 8-yard pass for a first
Mhm.
down, and then he can run up there and spike it,
Uh-huh.
and then Mateer comes in.
Uh-huh.
It's 2nd and 10 from like the 30.
he's an experienced Division I quarterback. He won a conference title.
That wasn't Division I, was it? Mercer?
Well, whatever. He's experienced now.
Right. Yeah,
But
he won a conference.
the point is,
Yeah.
you can have
Yeah.
him throw a pass
Right.
in
Exactly.
a football game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if he can't throw a pass in a football game, then what's he doing
Right.
as the backup
I mean,
quarterback?
Right.
He's got a better arm than Mateer does.
Well, it's one of those things where if that's your fear, it's misplaced because it doesn't take, you got to take chances to win a football game, not avoid chances. But they avoid chances as if they just play safe, things aren't going to happen. And yet things happen, like Satania deciding to cut it inside, do a hurdle over a ghost player, and get contact by 2 guys and have a fumble, ruled a fumble, inconclusive to overturn it. Arguably, maybe he was down.
And what he saw
It
to
doesn't
keep
matter.
it on the outside.
Yeah, he should
still-
go to the
And at the
outside.
sideline, I looked down, and
And
was a defender coming, but if he would have made, and once he got past the first guy that overran him,
right.
he was running, streaking up.
Yeah.
The block wasn't to seal it to where he could stay on the outside,
Right.
but he could have done one juke move to the right, and I think the defender would have gone in, and then he could have got back down the sideline.
Well, either
And
way,
who knows what
just
happens
get
after he
15
misses that
yards
guy.
and give us the ball on the 40, 45 yard
Yeah.
line and let's try to win the game. But it's back to things are going to happen in a ball game. So you've got to take chances because chances are taking you. And it comes at your own players making decisions like that. It comes with bounces of the football where the football pops out. It comes with all kinds of other goofy things like a mythical roughing the passer that so I want to talk about that and some of the questionable officiating that's troubling, but I want to relate it back to not as an excuse, but how we have put ourselves in a position of exposure because every time when you're operating with such sensitivity and you have to be just right on everything, it takes the littlest thing not going your way to mess up and thwart everything you're trying to achieve. And it seems like that we continue to put ourselves in that position. But I think you lost your voice basically on that.
Yelling at the refs on the roughing the passer, because he comes on and said roughing the passer hit above the shoulders, and it was 100% not. It was in the chest. Not to mention Jackson's being held on as he's going after the quarterback, and then the guy lets him go and kind of shoves him into the quarterback.
Yep.
So I don't think you can call a roughing the passer when you're shoved into it, 1,
Right.
not calling the holding, 2,
Right.
and when the hit is
It's a clean
below
hit.
the shoulders.
Clean
Yeah.
hit.
So there's 3 ways the refs got that wrong.
And
Mhm.
arguably, 1, and statistically, 2, we have the most disruptive defensive line in the entire country. How many penalties did the Ole Miss
Zero.
offensive line?
Holding, 0.
That's weird.
Yep. And that was 3rd and 10 from the 41. So that would have been a 4th and 10. And at that point, I don't think Kiffin goes for it.
No, I
on
don't
the
think so
41,
either.
and
No,
if it had been 5 yards left, I
Right.
think he would
I
have.
think it was like third
But,
and 12.
no, yeah.
Maybe it was 12.
Yeah,
12
It
or
was 10 or
14.
12.
It was
It
longer
would have
than
been
10.
it would have been a punt for sure.
Well, 100%. 100% punt.
But
no,
nope.
we were just totally happy because we knew it was going to be a punt. Like there was no,
Yeah.
it was like, we're getting the ball back. Here we go.
Yep.
So it was,
And the crowd was pumped. The defense
Oh,
was pumped.
the
Everyone,
crowd showed up, the
The
crowd came
momentum
back.
had shifted.
there were
They
two
ended up
moments in that
They ended up
game.
getting a field goal on that
Right.
drive because of that.
And the crowd came back in two waves, which is saying a lot because we had a lot to be disappointed about, especially in that first half of football, with play after play, drive after drive, just being so disappointing on the offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, kind of a C plus, B minus effort, somewhere in that range, maybe in moments worse.
It's really strange.
We're giving up third and long.
Yes, it's strange because they ended up with a lot of yards, and at the same time, they were, at best 55% completion percentage,
Right.
and somehow ended up with less yards per carry than we had. They were under 4 yards per
Well, we
carry.
had two big plays.
Right, but they weren't just getting chunk yardage
Right.
all over the field. So it was a
There was a
weird
bunch of third down
a-
completions.
Yeah.
third and longs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the third and 7 to third and
Yep.
12
And
plus.
some of it was good scrambling.
It was.
He made a couple really good
He
ones.
did.
Really
Kiffin,
good.
Kiffin made several really good play calls to exploit opportunities or to put himself in a position to win.
I think we got out schemed in the first half for sure.
I think for sure we
Because
did.
they had 22 points, so 20 that was on the defense, and the other two were on the safety. And if you just said you're gonna give up 20 points by halftime in this game, we all thought we were probably
Yeah.
losing.
Right.
And
It's so hard
the
to
second half looked like we kind of calmed things and actually made better adjustments,
Yeah, actually,
which is rare. For
both
us.
sides of the ball had
it's hard to
adjustments.
evaluate everything because when one side of the football is so inept, we had 19 plays on offense in the first half.
And 16
And you just
yard,
don't-
or 19 yards, 16 yards rush.
16 yards rushing.
You just don't know what that does to you defensively in your calls, in your mindset, in your aggressiveness, all of that. If the offense was just doing anything.
So the thing that relates to that, I think, that was so disappointing is when Kiffin, in one of two or three bad decisions he made, where he went for it deep in his own territory on 4th and 1, and we had a tremendous stop. We had another one that should have been a stop that I think was a bad
Oh,
block.
they fumbled the
blocked him
direct
back.
pass on the
Yeah.
fourth down.
Well, that's the one. That was the first one I can't believe we went for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Later on, they had a
That
4th and
was a
2. That was a block in the back.
yeah.
A clear block in the
So
back.
both, I
Yeah.
can't believe he went for it. The one he doesn't get, we get the ball back and we're on the 15-yard line, and we go -8 yards or
10.
-10 yards, and we end up kicking a
Line of
field goal.
scrimmage was at 25 when we kicked that field goal.
It was,
2-yard field
I
goal.
was livid.
A
I was
complete
livid on
chance
third down.
to
to turn the
get
tides of
get
this
your
whole game.
football team back in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just definitely something that has got to be deflating for the players on both sides of the ball. It's very deflating for us as a fan. And that's where I think a lot of us checked out the first time we checked out. We came back though. We came back strong. Crowd was extremely loud. Crowd was definitely in it. This, and what's frustrating to me, I was thinking about this earlier. It's not frustrating that the ball didn't turn our way, that we lost a game that we could have won. It's frustrating because we don't look like a team who can get to the next level. To me, we hit this ceiling and I don't know if we can get past it. It's bigger long-term issues. It's not, I'm upset we lost the football game. It's, I'm upset we lost the football game and we're possibly a team who's going to have to hit reset and start over with a new coaching staff and give up. It's as bad as it was in the John Blake years. At least you were giving up complete ineptitude and worthlessness on every facet of the ball. We are a really good defense. We've got a lot going for us in a lot of capacities, in a lot of areas of the game beyond just those two sides of the ball. But I think we have a really big chance that we're going to have to give all of that up and start over.
It's really hard to evaluate. Is this a Arbuckle problem? Is it a Mateer problem? Is it a both of them problem? Because sometimes you're like, why would we call that here in this scenario? And then there's other times where we all see people open, plays to be made.
we sit with a lot of people in the stands,
And, like,
many
if
of
you-
them idiots,
If the
and they
plays are
see it,
made,
and they're yelling.
if those plays are made, there's no one talking about Arbuckle
Mhm.
whatsoever.
No, oh, absolutely
Right?
not.
So
Well, on the Satania 77-yard touchdown or whatever they ended up being, Mateer had Canick wide open on the left or on the
Mhm.
east sideline for probably a 25-yard game, and I'm screaming at him to throw the ball because Canick's literally just running with nobody around him, and instead he drags it out and he's focused on Satania, rolls to his right and makes the play in the
Sidearm.
Yeah, sidearms it, and Satania makes the guy miss and goes to the house. Great finish, but
Mhm.
that should have never been the play because
Mhm.
he should have seen Canick open, but he never looked off Satania coming across in the coverage, and he's killed us a lot of times by rolling out so much that you're only leaving yourself one option on that side of the field.
Has he regressed?
I think he's just not ready for this level of competition compared to where they came from.
I think yeah, I don't
It's
either.
easier when you're
Yeah.
Washington State
I don't either.
and you're not playing a bunch of Power 4 teams.
Mhm.
yeah, but even then,
Defenses aren't as good and fast.
I think
And I
Michigan
think that's been the problem.
and Auburn's a really good SEC defense. He looked better earlier in the season.
And I don't blame the hand injury. I mean, maybe during Texas, like you can see it.
Non-decision making.
Surely
But
not.
in this game, there was more openings that should have been made, and we didn't go to the South Carolina game. There could have been,
More
if I was
of those
watching
there.
the end zone, I probably could have seen 4 or 5 passes that he should have made. But this game, I mean, there was at least 5 plays that could have been first downs that didn't, and I bet on 3 of those we punted.
And in
And
so
I'm
many,
sure there's even more than that.
there's more than that because there are plays in between where we still end up getting a first down that we're missing on.
Right.
You know, they don't give us enough disclosure the way they used to in the old days. In the old days, they would call out a player and say, we got to hit this pass. We got to hit this pass. They wouldn't be afraid to say where Mateer's shortcomings are. And I feel like there's a little bit of a glossing over it to an extent. Now, I'm sure when they're breaking down film, they're showing him, but you almost need a little bit of a social shaming of publicly knowing everyone, we're pointing it out, nowhere to hide. You got to hit these passes, and that'll make a guy better if he's capable of getting better. And if he's not well suited to be a quarterback at this level.
It'd be great to see like a Arbuckle coaches show
And
where they've got an all 22, and he's like, yeah, John missed this guy that would have been open over here.
Or someone ran
Instead
wrong
he
route.
did this.
or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
you don't have
know,
to give away the house.
Perks
Just
sat
tell-
down
Well, it's not giving away the
instead of continuing it
It's as
because
obvious as
that-
these
that.
DCs.
yeah, they all see it.
They
they're not-
all see
They're
it.
not like, oh, that's what they were trying to do on that play.
Because we
Yeah,
we
break
did
that down.
blame the receivers for
Trying
the
to
first,
hit open receivers.
the first 3 games we had an interception in each game.
Right.
There was definitely receivers that
No, he's not doing that.
we looked at.
Yeah.
But he's also not slinging it.
Yep.
It's a little bit of what happened at Arnold between the bowl game and the start of last season. It was coached out of him
Yep.
to sling it.
Back to my concern that there is this umbrella of conservativeness that is part of our program, and we just drum out of these players taking those kinds
It
of
pains me,
chances.
Steve, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mark the
Yet
date.
again.
Mark the date.
Yet again. So I don't know. Where do we go from here? Because
I'll tell you where we're not
we're
going.
still in the mix of everything. We're going to the playoffs.
I'll tell you, Connor couldn't be here for the pod. I don't know why, but he left. And before he left, he was watching some of the games. He's like, if Texas loses and Bama loses, we're still in this thing. And I
We're
please-
technically
I said,
still in.
please say this on the pod because that is the most far-fetched, ludicrous nonsense I've ever heard. After watching what I witnessed
Everything
today.
about what he said is literally true.
Yes, we have 2 SEC losses, and everyone
And
might
if
have
we go
one
9
or
and
2.
3, any loss, 9-3, we're virtually a
Well,
loss
it's not
for
just
the
that.
playoff.
We're technically only have 2 losses.
Right,
We can
Well,
make the
we-
SEC
we-
championship game.
9-3.
right.
Still.
We can make
It still
everything.
depends on how everything else shakes out.
And I think with 2 losses, there's a really good chance you would make the SEC championship game.
Yeah, 10-2,
Yeah.
a real good chance.
Okay.
Depend.
And if you didn't make
Like
the
it-
SEC championship game, you're in the
Why
playoffs.
would you, we're arguing math here. We're
I
not.
mean, it's
arguing
I just
technically
watched a
do.
team on the field that's not going to win. the
No, I don't
next
think
four.
we- I don't think we are
They
either.
don't. They don't take the records and say, "Okay, hold on, Lucas. what do you think? Should this team go to the SEC?
It's our
title?
job to watch this team and make an informed opinion.
Right.
And my informed opinion is we're not going 4-0 the next 4 games.
I agree with you.
That's no one's saying that.
Yeah.
We're saying
Sounds
if
like
we
you are.
did. And we are. Count it, bank it. How much you want to bet?
Oh,
I would
boy.
say moving forward, the only difference would be I say you don't have much to lose. So just open it up.
They should look at it that way, but they always should. And it's back to my conservativeness and they're trying to not take chances. I don't know if they'll ever see that. And it'll be one of several things that are the doom of the Brent Venables regime.
This is
Well, he's got his job's on the line.
it's a little off track.
So
And he
that-
needs to
that's why he
understand
won't open it up and go crazy offense because he's afraid what that turns into is multiple turnovers, the defense
Exactly.
not being able to keep the
I think you're
keep the
right.
score
And,
down,
and right
and
there,
that guarantees a loss of his
if
job.
that's correct, and he's afraid,
Then
he
he's
should
not
be
cut out for
fired.
his job.
He's not cut out for this job.
So
He should
even
play
this week
for-
in practice,
Play to win.
the reports coming out was that Giovanni Gibson was getting more up to speed, game speed, and looking even better and better. And he was the one still making plays in practice. He's the guy that you just throw the ball up to. He's the Cam
Right.
Coleman.
Right.
He's the Malcolm Kelly. He's whatever player you want to come up with. We do not do it
Mhm.
at all.
No,
We threw
Well, he
the
had
one
a chance today, did make his guy miss, which
He
was
did.
bad because that,
right.
that would have been probably a
But-
25 or 30-yard gain, and instead it was like a 4 or 5 yard.
He should be able to
play.
do that, but that's not the type of play I'm talking about.
And then, well, they did
well, that
the
was a
pass
back shoulder.
interference
That was a back shoulder thing.
was a planned back pass interference, if you ask me. He purposely underthrew that ball on the back shoulder for him to try to come back for it to draw the pass interference. Was that the final
I
drive?
don't think you can ever purposely
I think that was,
draw a pass
I think
interference.
that was a planned pass.
I think it was a shitty.
I
I
back
don't think
shoulder
it was
throw.
planned. I think at the last
I think
second,
y'all are mistaken.
I think at the last second, he throws that ball with an attempt
And it's short.
at both, and it's short. I don't think he's even trying to get the pass interference.
why you
Either he
throw
was,
it, though.
At the end of
he
it.
was overthrowing open guys.
But there's two out of
That
three
one was
things.
covered. He purposely underthrew that ball to get the pass interference.
There's two
If
out
you
of
watch
three
it on
things
video
that can
or
happen
from
in
the
that
zone,
play, though.
You'll see that that's what happened.
Two of them are
Can't see
positive,
anything.
one of them's negative. You underthrow it like he did. Your guy has to come back for it and hopefully gets the pass interference call. One, you throw the back shoulder throw well, your guy comes back and gets it. The other one is there's an interception. So you have a 66% chance that
It's
I'm going to
good.
throw this ball and something good's going to come out of it. That's
But
what
if- but
one-on-one
if-
coverage
but if you
does.
Overthrow
Good
it,
or not
then
bad.
it's bad all around because you're not going to get the pass interference if you overthrow that, and he's not coming back for it. I think that was
Overthrow, yeah, but you
that
can
was
throw
a
it where he
plan
has a chance to get it.
attempt to get a pass interference,
Look,
which we haven't done all season.
isn't well, I agree because I think every back shoulder throw
Yes.
is that by definition.
Yeah, I think you have the advantage of that's what a back shoulder
Yeah.
throw gives you. That's why single coverage as a corner is just so hard.
But it was, if there's a such thing as uncatchable ball in play, that was that. Because it's kind of a crap rule, is no one was catching that ball. It was thrown so late and so hard.
yeah, you kept me
no
from
one
getting
was
there.
catching
I
it.
wasn't going to get there.
Yeah,
but you kept
exactly,
me from getting there.
And the rest were letting them play on some of those because
They
there
did. You're right.
was at least two other passes I can remember that we were all thinking they had a good chance of being pass interference that didn't get called.
He threw a great
Mhm.
pass to Satania first quarter.
Yeah,
Longest pass of the season, by the way, which is
Not in the air, but as it close, maybe in the air as well. But it obviously
okay up to the long
Yeah.
one from Satania after the catch. But
Mhm.
that what was it, 44 yards or something?
Right. Oh,
It was a
oh,
beautiful pass.
that one.
39,
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was good. He has his moments, and a guy's not going to hit on every pass, including deep ones. But when you don't
But he
throw
just
the
gave
ball and
himself a
release
chance.
he's got to give himself a
Yeah.
chance. You're never going to if you make 50% of your deep balls, that's an incredible ratio. But if you throw twice, that's one catch.
Yeah.
You got to throw the ball downfield. You got to release the ball downfield. So that's a problem. You've got to run smart and know what you're going up against. We did that, it seems like, in the second half with the right running back. Robinson was running strong and good. He averaged like 12 yards per carry. Take away the 65-yarder, and he still has a great yards per carry. Then we go away from that. In times you still can run the ball, and it's like they don't know you can still run the ball with 4 minutes to go, with 2 minutes to go, down in distance wise, you can still make that decision. That's confusing.
Mateer didn't seem comfortable in the pocket. It looked like every chance he had
He hasn't.
to step up in the pocket and make a throw, he instead rolled out
Yeah.
and was either trying to Baker Mayfield his way and shed 3 tackles or just run to the side and throw it away.
His attempts at getting away from people are so bad. It's really, again, and we talked about this before,
But it wasn't.
like he doesn't know how.
Early in the season,
It wasn't against
we were
Michigan.
talking about him being Baker Mayfield
Yes.
style.
He
But I
picked
don't,
up
but he wasn't, yeah, and now all of a sudden it is. And I don't know what it is about the stutter steps. His stutter steps were productive before, and now they're not.
It's like his agility has regressed.
Yeah. But I don't
from
think it's
breaking his
that.
thumb.
I think
Yeah,
it's
breaking his thumb.
I think he's just making the wrong moves and trying the wrong things. Maybe it's a little bit of, oh, I'm afraid what's going to happen. I don't want to get hurt. I don't know what it is.
He could just be pressing in general.
Well, we definitely saw some pressing, instantaneous pressing to playing hero ball to try and cut that back in when we don't need it. I didn't see a lot of hero ball defensively. I thought
I
that
don't think Satinia's play is a bad idea. Just you gotta hold on the ball.
it's a bad idea because you don't need to do that. You can just run upfield. And I don't understand why he doesn't just run upfield. And then, and it's probably the coach is telling him not to, he fair catches that one with I know there's 2 defenders there, but I'd rather see him take his chances. This is at the very end of the game.
You have a
before the
better
fast-
you have a better chance of an 80-yard punt return than driving the length of the field with 40 seconds.
And you've also got a better chance if you get 15 yards and it's a 65-yard
Yeah.
to the end zone, or if there's a penalty, or if a million things. But it's like they told him, you fair catch this ball no matter what, where they probably should just say, you take your chances, man. We got to take our chances at that time.
Yeah, defensively, we've talked so much about the offense. Again, it was strange. They had 430 plus yards, but the defense just was not that bad.
Mhm.
It was odd.
Yeah.
A lot of that came in the first half. I think they had like 280 or something in the first half.
They had a bunch.
Right. They had a bunch.
Yeah, and the time possession was massively different.
Yeah,
Oh, it was like 15 something to 7 something at one
we
point.
didn't really miss too many tackles today.
No.
We were out schemed at times.
Especially in the scripted play.
There were several times where they were running trips, and we had 2
Thanks for bringing that
and
up.
a safety kind of over to
No.
the side.
But 12, 15.
But it was
yards
like,
off of
what
him.
do we?
That was
Yeah.
a 4th down, was it not?
It was multiple
They had like a
times.
4th and 3.
Yes.
And they had
Yes.
3 receivers
Yes.
lined up against 2 corners.
Yeah.
And Jay called.
What
it.
did
He
you think
said-
was going to happen?
Jay said,
Yeah,
they're,
it was.
Yeah.
they're throwing the bubble.
All you have to do is
It's
throw
gonna
to
just
one
get
of
there.
those guys, and the other 2 block, and it's a first down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not.
And that's
don't
exactly
know.
what happened.
That was Mike Stoops' Baylor game level of
Yep.
bad coaching.
It was so bad. And they did it repeatedly.
Even if you take 3 over there, that's really not enough people for 3 receivers.
Right. I mean, and they
You
should,
can still get.
they should be able to
Well,
stop
out of a
it.
stop and go, then they're just going to throw it short, try to get the first down.
Right.
In the scenario, but in general, I'm saying like
Yeah.
if you've got trips, you've got to have an over the top person. I mean,
Right.
the way the route trees
3 and
work,
an over the top.
you've got a design where someone's taking it long and 2
We
people
made
are taking it under.
substitution error. We had too many men on the fields.
Yeah. So that,
because
I would like someone to break that down because it did not seem like they were giving us enough time. I think I was told the white hat went over and talked to Brent to tell him he had to speed up the substitutions early on. So we get called for too many men. They got called for too many men once.
one of the ones was crucial because I think it was third and 4 or 5 or something like that.
Right.
We get them, and it was in our end. They were backed up in their own end zone,
Uh-huh.
and our guys are literally on the hash that's next to the sideline,
Right.
like a foot and a half before they stepped off the field.
Yeah.
Before they
And they're
snapped it.
running.
and they were running, and the ref backed out of the way. And
I
don't
didn't
think
understand
I don't
that.
think they should have been able to.
No, I don't
because I
understand
thought
that.
they subbed, and then we subbed, and the ref just let it go,
His willy-nilly.
and then they picked up the
timing.
first down.
There was a couple of times where
I didn't
it's
understand that at
being
all.
very inconsistent on hold this
Between the
snap
2 teams.
for people. Yes,
Yeah.
for people to
They were
change.
letting Ole Miss substitute twice sometimes
Right.
during to try to
Right.
get us to burn a timeout.
Right. To me, I go back to the rule should be there's this many seconds that are allowed for the other team to once you sub. At every sub you make, 10 seconds, whatever you want to call it. You get 10 seconds, 8 seconds, whatever it needs to be. After that, I move away from the ball. So I don't have to look at anything. I just look at the clock and I subtract. 10 is a real easy number to subtract from. So we just go boom. It's 20 seconds. I'm standing here till 10, and then I'm running out of the way.
And I don't think this game was decided on officiating, but
Oh, and help
it was definitely to our detriment today.
in
And I
many
just, and I don't
facets.
think it's undisciplinedness by us.
Mm-mm.
I think there was legitimate, like I said, I didn't have much of a voice after the game has come back now, but I screamed louder at the roughing the passer call than probably any call ever been made in that stadium. That's how bad that call.
It was such a bad call. It was colossally
And
bad.
And it
a
changed.
massive part of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they ended up getting 3 points, which changed domino affected everything from there on out.
Yeah, very, very frustrating.
Disgusting. Refs.
Okay, so have we left anything on the table that we didn't talk about? Seemed like there were so many things. You brought up, Lucas, the question. I don't think we fully answered it. Mateer versus Arbuckle versus you didn't say, but versus Venables. Where's the responsibility? Assistant coaches, other players. I'm going to put more and more of this on the coaching staff as time goes on, because we're deep in the season. You got to know who you're working with and have gotten them to a higher level.
And it's their job to get the players ready.
It's their job to get them ready.
Yeah.
Mateers definitely deserves a lot of blame, but it's not the same kind of blame, because I think Mateer's good, and I think he's gonna get good or has a chance to get really good. But the fact that he's not yet is on the coaches, not on Mateer. So it would be different if you had seen a guy perform that way all season long, and you get to an SEC title, you get to a playoff game, and all of a sudden he's not doing those things. That's different than if a guy really hasn't proven that he can do this all season long, and yet other than the fact that you say he does it if you were to say he does it in practice consistently, no trouble, he gets in a game and for some reason he can't get it done.
Well,
even then there's some coaching
I
blame.
pointed it out during the hype of the Heisman stuff. I was asking you guys, what has he shown that puts him in the lead or even the top 3 of the Heisman stuff through 4 games? It's because we had a clutch drive against Michigan to run the clock out, essentially.
Well, he was
We had
extending
a
plays and
clutch
getting
drive against
tough
Auburn.
first downs and stuff.
Right.
But outside of that, like I said, 35 points against Illinois State, that's not good enough. It was the first game of the season. He's working with new guys. I understand it, but that's a team that you should beat. That should be a name your score team, not a 35-point game. And then Temple, we look pretty good. That's really bad competition. And then Kent State, that's not enough points. I mean, we scored against
So
Kent State.
are you blaming Mateer, or are you blaming the coaches?
I mean, the more screenshots we see of open guys and Mateer making the wrong decision, it's more on Mateer. But like you said, it's the coach's job to get them ready. And you're not going to bench him.
No.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of question. If I'm the head coach, if I'm going back and watching film, and they've got all the practice stuff they can watch, and if it looks like that Hawkins or Neubauer is making better decisions with the ball, but maybe lacks a little bit of the it factor, I don't know how you can keep going with him.
Yeah,
I'm not saying bench him now, but
no, I
because
get
we're
it.
not there at practice.
I get
But
it.
from what I've seen in games, I didn't understand the Heisman hype to begin with, and then he hurt his thumb. Texas game is a wash because he was 17 days after surgery. He wasn't 100%.
Right.
He was still throwing behind guys, which I don't think was a physical issue. I think that was a mental issue. And then it played pretty well South Carolina. The running game stepped up. And we've talked about this for years, everything is predicated on having a running game to be able to pass the ball too.
Right.
Football's always been, you have to run the ball to throw the ball.
Right.
Unless you're running Texas Tech offense, then you can, just throw it off the field.
It's reversed.
It's reversed,
Right.
right. You throw all those short passes to open up the run game in the
Air raid.
air raid. But I don't know what to do from here. I'm stumped.
It's really difficult. And you look at,
It's almost what we did last year, though, when we made an OC change.
right,
We just hey, we're just going to pound the rock.
right.
We had a halftime lead
And we
against
should
Ole
do
Miss, come out, beat Alabama.
Yeah.
And I think we're significantly better than our offense was last year.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised after last week that we didn't come out and try and establish the same type of run game. Because they
Right.
were only had 6 in the box. This is the first time all season, to be
Mhm.
honest with you. There were 2 high safeties from Ole Miss the whole game. They were giving us the run.
Yeah, they were daring us to run a lot of it.
Against
And
the
we couldn't do it.
99th rate.
Yes, and we
Rush
could
rushing
not do it.
defense.
Yeah.
And yet we did. It's like we almost reverse psychology ourselves. Not we're not going to take that bait. You must know something we don't know.
They did. They had 2 high safeties the whole game.
And I said before the game, I expected Mateer to have 40 rushing yards because when we did our prop bet, it was
Right.
over 167. And I said,
5.5.
Mateer can have 40 of that. So that's why I said over. And then even at the halftime, when I did the realist halftime take, I said Mateer needs to run. And the first 2 plays would come out and run
For 2 yards.
for like 3 yards total.
Yeah.
Right, and they were they
But they
were
were bad.
ill-conceived
Yes.
draw
Yeah.
plays.
Yes.
I called them. I said, "Is this going to be a draw?" Sure enough, there it was.
I mean, you
And
could
then
have
all of a
had
sudden we're
Robinson
running.
back there lead blocking
Right,
for Mateer on some of those run plays. Not like a running a
I mean,
bulldozer
if they're-
necessarily, but
If they're
some
wanting to do
version of
that,
trying to get
go watch
6
some
or 7 yards in a carry.
Go watch some Klein from K-State
Yeah.
footage if you want to run power
Right.
quarterback
Right.
runs.
right.
They're
So
masterful at it.
Yeah.
we have a tough schedule remaining. Obviously, we go out to Tennessee.
Whose
Which
offense is better than Ole Miss's?
Yep.
and defense is better,
Yep.
probably.
Probably.
Rating
So
wise, they are. Now, are they on a bye this week?
they're not
No, they play at Kentucky.
at
Yeah,
Kentucky.
they're
Sneaky
That's right,
game.
Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sneaky tough game.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad they don't get a bye a week before us.
yeah, no kidding. At least that works to our advantage. It's kind of a matter of which team is going to show up between not just the South Carolina Ole Miss and really Ole Miss first half, Ole Miss second half to a
South
degree.
Carolina's beating Bama right now.
Yeah,
And
which
it's in the
is
fourth
just
quarter.
makes no sense. It's just the
It's-
college football's crazy.
Screws me and Jay.
SEC's crazy.
It's just
SEC's
crazy.
tough.
Yep.
It's just really hard.
I mean, Bama
to-
has
to do
14
this
points, and one of them's a pick 6 from the 10-yard line.
Well, we got Mississippi State is beating Texas.
Yep.
24-14. How much time's left in that game?
Third quarter, halfway through the third
8
quarter.
minutes.
Halfway through the third.
Yep.
So it's a tough league. It's not inconceivable that we can win 2 more games, if not 4 more games. It really isn't. Now it's difficult, but it's
Well,
not
these
inconceivable.
teams are protecting their home.
Well, I
Yeah,
don't
but if
think
you
you're
win
supposed
two,
to
if
do
you
that.
only win 2 of the next 4, you're not in the playoff.
If you only,
So,
yeah,
so
you're
now
right.
you're on my side.
No, I'm saying
8 and 4 doesn't get you in the
on
playoff.
your side ever. So no, 8-4 does not get you in the
No.
playoff.
And 9 and 3 is still a stretch.
Yes.
It depends on what everything
with a
else
two-loss
that
Notre
happens.
Dame or something. Yeah.
Right. It depends on within your own conference, what happens in the Big Ten,
Yeah, if you get 2 Big
what
12
happens
teams
in
in.
the ACC.
Yeah.
You're not going to get 2 Big 12 teams in.
They might.
That's virtually impossible.
No, it's not.
It totally is virtually impossible. There's
You're
the only
crazy.
way is if Texas Tech gets beat in the Big 12 title, and Texas Tech,
Well, BYU is undefeated. They could lose the Big 12 title.
yeah, they're not going to stay undefeated.
Tech could beat
They're
BYU
gonna
in the
lose
Big 12
tonight.
title, and both those teams get in. It'd be just like the ACC last year when Clemson beat SMU, and a Clemson team that
Yes,
did not deserve to be in the
very hard
playoffs
for that
on
to
their
happen.
conference.
Very hard
Got
for
it.
that to happen. Very, very unlikely.
I don't think it's that unlikely.
Very unlikely. 10% chance.
No, 50% chance. The 2 Big 12 teams.
50%
The
chance.
2 Big 12 teams get in.
So we got a straight up bet. How much you want to
The
bet?
2 Big 12 teams get in.
Come on. Come on, put your money where your mouth is.
Watching
You
this
can bet-
game,
Talk is
breakfast
cheap.
again. I don't care.
Let's do it. Breakfast.
Okay.
Breakfast. Here it is. Breakfast.
The 2 Big 12 teams get in.
That 2 Big 12 teams get into the playoff. 2. I'll give you 2 or more.
Ooh.
Exactly.
What a
Because
great
it's
deal.
not going to happen.
no, but watching this game right here, there's several things that it just doesn't line up with what we watched from OU. One, Alabama can't seem to move the football. Like
Mhm.
it's a defense that we didn't have
Any
a hard time
trouble.
with at
Well,
all.
Stewart's back, which is definitely helping their defense. He missed most of
That
the games with
much?
the hip flexor.
I mean, okay, maybe.
Alabama's offense versus our offense.
And then secondly, though,
Texas is losing.
South Carolina's moving the football. Okay.
Right.
Alabama
Alabama's
team, and
defense
they couldn't do anything against us
Last year.
this year.
last week.
Oh, I
South
thought you were
Carolina.
I'm talking about
I'm
Alabama.
talking about no South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't do nothing.
Well,
with
not
us.
moving. They got 15 points. It's not like they're running up and down the field on them.
They're at the 15-yard line. How many points they get
Well,
against us?
They just had a sack fumble on the 30. So
How many
they're
points
about
they
to
have
punch it
against
in.
us?
6.
Over 100% more in this game.
Wow. That's a lot of
Look at the
percent.
math.
That's a bunch of percent.
And if they put it in right here, they're over 200%.
Slow down with the math, okay?
Jeez.
Get a calculator. Somebody
Saying.
fact check him. I'll give you, let me make you get a calculator out for one other thing.
Don't need it.
What is the probability
I'm
that
an
a
abacus.
get your abacus out because I think you know the answer to this. What is the probability that the third, fourth, one of the top 5 defenses in the country can get to week 8 in their schedule and have 4 turnovers?
It's,
How is that possible?
don't know.
What the hell is happening? The only thing I can think, other than damn random luck, bad luck in this case for the Sooners, is that if your offense is not doing what they need to do to complement your defense, that if they aren't putting pressure on opposing teams by putting points on the board, you're allowing other teams to play it safe, and they're not taking chances against a defense they're already not wanting to take chances against. That's the only thing I can think to explain what we're seeing here. And say all you want about, and I said a lot about how bad we are in so many facets. You give us a reasonable number of turnovers, and we might be an undefeated football team right now.
We are undefeated.
I mean, you should be able to factor in safeties and turnover on downs.
Right.
So today we did have a turnover on downs on the 4th and 2 or whatever
Correct.
inside our
I would agree.
35 or whatever.
I would agree.
So, and then we've had that a couple other times this season where we've stopped a team. I think if it's on our plus side of the field, if they're on their half and you
Right.
cause a turnover on downs, that should count as a turnover.
But that doesn't help the case probably, because here's the number of turnovers. I'm using my hands, and it's a very small distance between my hands. Here's the number of turnovers we have. Here's the number of turnovers an opposing team has. It's like a bigger gap. It's like Jay might say it's 100 to 200% bigger.
Absolutely.
Those other teams also have turnovers on downs. They also have safeties and whatever else doesn't count.
There's a chance
So
we're
what the hell?
there's a chance we're close to dead last in the country after this weekend
And ratio,
in ratio.
it's 10 and
Turnovers.
4. We got-
And if you adjust
10
it for
turnovers.
quality of our defense,
Which make no,
It's
if you look
astronomical.
at your peers in that category, you're with like Charlotte and
Yeah.
like so these other teams. It makes no
exactly.
sense.
Yeah, exactly. Don't count out the Charlotte, whatever they are.
playing North Texas today.
They
Last
did.
night.
That was last
Last
night.
night,
Who
yeah.
won?
North Texas. They had to come back. Though.
Well, I don't know. That's not an excuse, and it could bail us out. But my God, if there was ever a
Some of the
team
excuses,
due for a turnover,
like even like our tackles for losses is incredible.
Yeah.
And
We had 12 today, right?
14, I think, which puts us
Yeah.
like
I think it was
every
12
game this year that we've been double digit tackle for loss, which is amazing.
mhm.
But no one's fumbled. No one's muffed a handoff.
We've had more sacks than
There's
any
been
team.
no tips
Well, today they had the
that get almost
on the snap on the.
It was a bad snap.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
but not
They
us.
ran a direct snap.
But not us.
like it's not something we do.
He's saying we're going
Oh,
back
yeah.
and hitting you hard, and
No,
they're holding on.
There's
to the football.
no even today. We had several batted balls today. One,
Yeah.
oh god, I just forgot who 16 is.
16 Sequoia.
Yeah, he was just not ready for it, and he was close to it, but didn't get there.
Oh,
Just
right.
none
Yes,
of this. Just
yes.
Watching it live,
You
I was like,
just
we should
need
grab
that,
that.
but it was
then
far
when I
away
saw
from him.
full speed on the replay.
Right.
It was like bang bang.
No,
Well,
but still,
and
it's
it's also
one
a
of those
yard
deals,
away from
though,
it. It's one of
that,
those
like,
things.
we
It
watched
lands in the hands
of everybody
else.
Yeah, everybody else it pops right to him.
And yet it doesn't for us. It's like we monkey pawed this thing years ago and said we'll take all of our opportunistic turnovers now, give them up later. It's just unbelievable how we just can't buy an opportunistic turnover
Nope.
as good as we are. And so that is a suggestion
And
for
when you get as much pressure as we get,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
errant throws.
right.
And it seems like everyone's just decided to, I'll just take the sack.
So
I'm gonna be
that's a
smart and take the
suggestion
sack, which
for, if not a prop bet of the week, a prop bet for the rest of the season, what we might see in terms of turnovers and what our record would be. It'd be interesting kind of to say if our turnover ratio is this, what our record is, if it's this, what our record is, because that may be the determining factor about how good of a record we have from here on out with as weak and as sketchy as our offense is and as much help as we're going to need because of that facet of the ball. So anything else to talk about before we wrap up? Your level of optimism, pessimism right now, is it peak pessimism? Is it peak frustration? I'm at peak frustration. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, we felt good about the South Carolina win. We all said that they're not a great team, but it's still a good road victory. And then you come home and
It is a good road
you
victory.
come home and lay an egg. So you're trading one for another.
Yeah.
So you're shooting yourself in the foot for your season long record to trade one for the other. And
And a bad trade at that because
you've
it's
got
home.
4 ranked teams coming, 2 on the road back to back with the bye week in between, and then 2 at home. I don't like Missouri doesn't look very good today against Vandy.
But Vandy's probably pretty
and
good.
Missouri's quarterback got hurt, right?
Yep.
And they stretchered him off or carted him off or wheelchaired him off. I don't know what they said earlier.
Metaflighted him
Yeah.
to the
So maybe
locker
maybe
room.
that's to our benefit if Missouri shows up
I
with
mean,
a backup
2
quarterback.
hours ago, I would have told you we had a 0% chance of going into Alabama winning.
And now they're
Losing to a
South
crap team.
that we beat the crap out of.
Yeah.
Carolina. Yeah. It's
So
not over. They still got 9 minutes. They're down by 8.
And I honestly don't know what to expect from not just our conference, but our football team. I have no real hope to win next week, which means put your money on the Sooners because we're going to show up and we're going
There
to
you
run
go.
the shit out of the rock. And we're
We're
just
gonna surprise the hell out of you.
going to just beat down Tennessee next
Yeah,
week.
exactly. It'll be like, where was this team?
Yes.
What are you looking
Yeah.
at? Oh my God.
Yeah.
And it will come with multiple turnovers. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just don't know what to expect for sure.
Nope.
Other
Don't
than
know.
that would be the best scenario to then go disappoint us the next week. Yeah.
Yes, that's
The-
what it
the-
feels like.
Yeah, it's I think I'm beginning to think this is all designed just to toy with my emotions
Probably.
and to pull me both directions. Get my hopes up, dash them. Hopes up again, dash
I
them.
mean,
We'll see.
to me, my thoughts are Brent has to go 2-2 to keep his job. And if he doesn't, if you go
Okay, let's
7 and
close on that
5,
because I want to talk about that.
Okay.
I don't want to forget about Tobacco Exchange. Again, thank you, Tobacco Exchange. Great sponsor. Great cigars, great selection. Go check them out, guys. All right. That is probably true, and it still frustrates me. I don't want Brent to lose his job. I don't want to have to hit the reset button, but I'm so afraid we're at a point we're going to have to do that.
I mean, I don't want to either.
And if I'm to the point where if I had to make the decision, here's the 2 things pulling on me. One, I want to say you have to make the playoffs to keep your job. Make the playoffs, you're in. Don't make the playoffs, you're out. Almost without context. The other part of me says that's too strenuous for one, because there's context matters.
Well, it could change
And
how you
two-
call your games and everything.
Well, I don't mean to tell him that.
Oh,
No, I'm saying my decision.
I think he knows that
The
we said
either
it
would
8
be-
before you keep your
He
job.
listens to the pod, so he,
Definitely.
and then the other part of me says, this is a season where we're seeing a lot of coaching openings.
Yeah.
You're going to be in the mix potentially with, well,
Too
definitely
many.
Penn State, Florida, a whole bunch of others, and from news we're hearing today, maybe Texas, as they're losing this football game, and Sark apparently his agent's putting his name out there that he wants to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
So that is a difficult environment to be trying to find a new coach. Whereas
Agreed.
if you buy yourself a year and less of a, I mean, thinking long term, you buy yourself back to
I
your
mean, if
thinking
Texas
long
opens
term.
up, you're probably the 3rd one. It's Texas,
At
Florida, OU.
best.
Like OU,
Penn
Florida is probably
We're
neck
ahead
and
of Penn
neck.
State. Penn State's
I think we're ahead of
that.
Penn State, except for that league's easier.
It-
But we're
and
neck
it-
and neck
and
with
it depends
Florida,
on
except their resources are
what
better.
good coaches are available.
Florida's
Right.
resources are better. The recruiting in Florida is better than Oklahoma.
Our
Obviously, we have
resources are
Texas.
pretty close.
And then no
I don't
state
know
income
about that.
tax. So coach can go there and make more money if it's dollar for dollar.
And Stitt is at his heart an Oklahoma State fan, so he wouldn't grant a special exception
Right.
to the University of Oklahoma football coach.
So I think in that pecking order, you're 3rd, Penn State's 4. And that's a big
Well,
if
well-
Sark takes an NFL job.
I don't disagree with what
But-
you're saying.
This is a bad year to be
A real bad year.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, like you say, Jay, you don't know who's out there. So honestly, we are 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, depending on who that coach is and what they want. So it's and who we want. So the guy that's out there for the Penn State job might not be a good fit for us. And so he's number 1 to Penn State, and Penn State's his number 1 job. Texas may or may not be ahead of us. Florida may or may not, same with Penn State, as I just said. None of them have to be ahead of you or behind you because it's dependent on what the guy's looking at. He may be looking at saying, Oklahoma is a pretty damn good environment. Texas, who also doesn't have a state income tax, but Texas is a very difficult environment
Because the boosters.
with the boosters
Yeah.
and everything else. I would rather
Expectations.
go to Oklahoma, and that's maybe an easier thing to walk into. So you don't know, but I think your point is made. You may not want to be in that circumstance. Let's be it where we can pick and choose our moment of when we make a choice versus run the risk that you're fourth on the pecking order.
And I've been very verbal about the reset because the way players are allowed to move and change,
You almost
think
have
we'd
to
be in
get somebody who could bring
we
everybody
would be in trouble,
for a while,
serious trouble.
unless you get somebody like a Signetti who's going to bring a bunch of players with him.
But still, and also the team is still pretty young. Like the
Right.
majority of our players, offensively and defensively,
Right.
are at worst juniors and younger. Well, it's a lot of sophomore and younger. I mean, the team,
Hmm.
the talent on the team.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way.
Yes.
Moving forward, it looks great.
And Brent's done an incredible job on the defense.
Yes, I think the
And,
defense,
and recruiting,
Coming
both
from where
sides
Lincoln-
are really
where
the
good.
Lincoln
defense
left
could
it.
be even better again
I
next
know
year.
the way Lincoln left it to what he's done in 4 seasons is amazing.
It's shocking.
But the offense, obviously, Lincoln was the top 2 or 3 coach in the country on offense. So it's going to be hard to replace that. And we've proven that we're on the OC number 4, if you count the interim one that we had with Joe John. But it's proven very difficult to replace any kind of good offense when normally, as good as our defense is, you're setting up the opportunity for the offense to be even better just based on field position.
Right.
When before, if it was a bendo break with Grinch or whatever, and they're punting it inside from the 50 down to the 10, and you're having to go 90 yards.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it was nothing for Lincoln to do that. But once your defense gets good in year 3, essentially for Brent, because 1 and 2 was iffy, even though we went 10-2 in his second season. A lot of that was the offense was well, was played well.
Was better.
And I mean, it's sad that the offense isn't anywhere near the level of the defense.
Let me see if I can find starting field position.
As you pull that up, I think you're right with what you're saying about the youth of the players, the position we're in, the growth that we're seeing. You're also going to have a new AD, and it's a little difficult, if not unfair, to what is the timing of that and who makes that hire? And you're handling your flagship cash cow, biggest part, everything else added together times 2 does not equal the football team. And you're telling that new AD that you're now going to have to work with this guy we hired. I hope you're happy with it. That's awkward. That's difficult. It's a really tough time to be losing your coach if you end up making the move.
And when you do a reset, how bad is that going to hurt our defense? Because
I think it'll gut it.
I don't think it hurts the offense at all.
Oh,
Because
yes.
I don't think we have some huge, great offensive people coming in, even though the recruiting's been okay on offense. But the stacking the guys up on defense that we've done is fantastic.
No, that's the
And
deal. I think you lose
if
it all.
Blow that up, you're screwed on both sides of the ball.
You lose
Unless-
it all.
Unless one
Defense-
way you don't.
These kids are playing
No.
for Brent Venables.
There's
Unless
one way.
the defensive staff stays outside of Brent.
Nope.
Nope. I don't think that
Here's
would
the
happen either.
scenario. Bob Stoops, he's back. Kevin Wilson, he's OC.
Brent,
Venables,
Defensive coordinator.
defensive
Yeah, he's not
coordinator.
taking that.
I wish people would just swallow their pride
Yeah.
for that.
I would love it. It's so tough. Were you able to pull that up? You can't find it.
No. I mean, I
Well,
probably could, but
It's
We
a-
did have a bet on OU being a top 40 offense going, at the
and
end.
they're not gonna do it.
I don't think so.
They're not.
You think? I mean,
No,
yeah, they're
they're
not.
not.
Yeah. It would take 4 incredible games.
Which makes no sense.
we need to go pull that exact stat to see which metric it was. I think it was
I told him I
yards
wouldn't
per
use that
game?
BS metric. I said it's going to
He
be.
didn't want to use the advanced metric.
We,
He wanted to just use
right.
the yard
I'm gonna
per
use-
game.
I'm gonna
We'll
use
go
real
find
metrics.
the old man metric that he pulled up, and we will
So,
see where we
All
rank.
right, let me look. So right now, it's not pretty for
You
my
look and I'll look at what the terms of the
for
bet
my
were.
argument. It's not very good. Total offense before today's games.
It's got to be.
I'm just gonna
60.
scroll down because I know it's not good.
Oh, ye of little faith. But it's so true.
Oh damn, it's worse than I thought.
What is it?
113th.
Wow.
Well, you ain't gonna win. Hold on. Here's the bet.
No, that was 2024. Woo! Thank God. All right, hold on. I hit the 2025. I hit the 2025. It didn't move. It didn't load to it.
Yards per
Oh.
game. Look at yards per game.
Yards per game.
Yards.
Nice.
We're definitely low on that.
Yeah, yards a game. Here we go. All right. This is 2025. Let me check. Yeah, 2025.
Efforting,
That
efforting.
was close.
You know,
We
I'll
might still
defend
be
you.
in the 80s on
Still scrolling.
It should have been an efficiency because
76.
76.
here's where you got the advantage in that stupid old man stat that you chose, because that's not adjusted for efficiency, and we play in the SEC. That's a hell of a lot different than playing where don't go down your list, but go down your list from
We'll
1 to
look
20.
at all the stats at the end of the
It's
season.
gonna be
and we'll take all the metrics.
Uh-huh.
And if
if
there's
any of them.
if there's 7 metrics and 4 of them are in favor of me, I win.
No, we
Or
did.
your favorite
We did
Jay
talk about
wins.
this. We did talk about this when we
On
made the
pod,
bet.
yeah.
Because we talked about,
Well,
well,
you're like, oh, I'm not counting Boise.
we're not
I'm
counting East
blah, blah,
Carolina
blah.
being the number 4
And I said,
defense
no,
in the
they're
country.
FBS teams.
But
Those count.
Well, you are free to change the terms, but the terms literally were yards per game. And I'm in your corner. Those are BS terms
Thank
that
you.
you shouldn't have. I
Y'all
don't know
keep
why
crying.
you caved.
Bama just tied it up against South Carolina.
Crown 'em.
The one benefit to some of these games, if South Carolina can win, and if Texas loses,
Okay, Connor.
and Missouri loses, then it just makes our loss not. No, I'm not on the playoff. You're nuts. I'm not Connor. I'm saying OU doesn't look as bad in the weekend if there's 4 teams in front of us. that
Right.
all
No, it
That all
looks,
lose.
yeah.
As
Even
far
though
as
we were
percent.
the
I don't
lower,
think we look that bad.
I don't either. We lost to number 8 team in the country.
Yeah.
Like,
on our home field,
Nah.
and we were
Nah.
favored
Nah. No.
it's not terrible.
We're the only
with
one
a guy that was a
feeling
Heisman
like
front
this.
runner 3 weeks ago.
It's
No.
not terrible though.
No one's going. There are 2 groups of people, you and Oklahoma State fans, who are saying, "Well, look, the Sooners lost." No one else. Everyone else is saying, it's tough in the SEC. That's a big
That
win
sounds
for
like loser
Mississippi.
mentality.
Mississippi.
No,
Oh, we're in the SEC. It's tough.
no, it's every
is.
game from here on out is
I'm well aware.
winnable and losable.
Winnable and losable. All right,
Yep.
we're
Winnable, losable.
we're gonna end on winnable and losable.
Amazing sequence of events there.
We're gonna have
Is
to
there another option? Am I correct or not?
yet again.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're gonna be back in the midweek pod to cover more of this. The look ahead to Tennessee, where we stand. We're gonna be getting our hopes back up. Hopefully, we'll have Connor back.
Oh yeah, by Friday we're
Oh,
Tennessee's
We're gonna be
ass.
smoking more cigars.
Be smoking more cigars from Tobacco Exchange. We're gonna be loving it. Until then, Boomer.
Sooner.
Sooner.